How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Rangers Rundown. A disappointing showing in Edmonton last night, but they came away with a point, so can we be that upset about certain things? But at least they got a point. Their spot in the standings is not in complete jeopardy yet. We'll find out what happens tonight against Calgary. If they lose the game tonight, then the worry can kind of start to settle in. But we'll see what happens tonight. So Reeves still out of the lineup. Hopefully he's back soon, or team seems to be okay without him. You can decide for yourself whether or not you like Reeves in the lineup. I like him in the lineup, but then again, the lineup they have right now did pretty well last night, offensively. Georgiev was also in net, so they looked at the two games and they said, which one are we... I don't know this, but they probably said, which one are we more likely to win? They probably thought Calgary, so that's the game they want Shesterkin in. Threw Georgiev to Edmonton Oilers, and he was fine. He had some good saves. He also let in 6 goals. But that's okay, I guess. He's also not very good at controlling the rebound, which caused some trouble tonight, and he's not fantastic with the puck, so... we're a little spoiled because we're so used to seeing Shesterkin, and he's great with rebound control. He's great with the puck. And then when Georgiev is in net, he's not an awful goalie, but he's just being compared to a fantastic goalie. So he gets a lot of flack. The lineups tonight: Kreider, Zibanejad, Goudreau, Panarin, Strome, Kakko, Rooney, Hedl, and Blais to make up that third line. And they would do some damage tonight. That line combination put in some work. And Lafreniere gets bumped down to the fourth line with McKegg and Hunt. Lindgren, Fox, Miller, Trouba, Nemeth, and Lundqvist would return after sitting out for the past 2 games. Again, Georgiev is in net. Tonight was his 99th NHL game. So there you go. I think he has 44 wins in his first 99 games. I think I'm remembering that correctly. So let's get into the first period. An early 3-on-1 for Edmonton, and then almost 2 minutes into the game, Hedl would score a goal, his second of the season. It was a broken play. He ends up with it in the slot, and Koskinen didn't have his stick, and he just kind of put it right into the net. Assists for Lundqvist and Blais. So Lundqvist gets his second NHL point. No goal yet, but he does have 2 assists, and Hedl gets his second goal. 7 minutes into the game, it's wide open. Like, teams are just skating right through the neutral zone in both directions. Shots are 6-3 for the Rangers 7 minutes in. Couple minutes later, bit of pressure by the third line, which was nice to see, and that third line would do some work. They already have. They would do some more work. The Rangers' passing was much better tonight, at least in the first 2 periods. Third period kind of got away from them, and then... it kind of got back towards the second half of that third period. The first half of the third period was not good for the Rangers. It just wasn't. 13 minutes in, Edmonton gets a first bout of extended pressure in the game. Both teams kind of easily skating back and forth into the offensive zones, but neither team was really setting up any extended pressure. They were throwing some shots on goal, nothing really steady and strong. About 13 minutes in is when we see the first bout of extended pressure from either team, and it was Edmonton. Lindgren and Fox were on the ice for over 2.5 minutes. So Edmonton controlling the puck, keeping it in the zone, not letting the Rangers make a change. 15-30, Strome and Kakko had a 2-on-1. And then shortly after, Kakko comes all the way back down the ice to make a good defensive play right at net front. And he might have saved a goal, depending on who you asked. But then at 18-11, Hyman would score a goal. It was a point shot that was saved, but he didn't control the rebound. And then Hyman shot it right in front of him. He saved that, but couldn't control the rebound. And then Hyman put it in. So 2 uncontrolled rebounds in a row leads to an Oilers goal. They tie at 1-1. Edmonton almost scored again right after. And it was at that point where I thought, this is going to be a bloodbath. Edmonton is just such a dangerous team offensively. I mean, they scored 6 goals tonight. Granted, the Rangers did score 5. This was the most goals they've ever scored in a game this season so far. So Both teams really well offensively tonight, just not so good defensively. Lindgren and McDavid come together and they, tussle a little bit. Shots 13-10 for Edmonton. So Edmonton caught up in the shot department, second half of that period. You just can't give them too much space. They're just so deadly with the puck. Second period, Zibanejad wraparound chance early, wouldn't go in. 2:30, Hedel dekes into the zone and gets 2 shots. So he shoots, gets his rebound, shoots again, 2 quick ones. It was impressive. He just one-man showed it right into the zone. 22 seconds later, Rooney would score a goal. It was a Hedel steal at the blue line, passed it right to him, pots it right over the shoulder into the corner. It's a really nice goal for Rooney. I was happy for him. I like Rooney. And at this point in the game, the Rangers are up 2-1, and the third line has both the goals. So we're not seeing the top 6 generate any goals so far in the game. They would, obviously. But up until that point, it was the third line carrying the team on their back. It was nice to see. 4:11, Kreider scores his 8th goal of the season. It was almost exactly like the goal he had the other night, where he just streaks into the zone and rips it right into the goal. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. His 8th goal of the season. Fox has an assist on that, so another point for him. And the Rangers have 2 quick goals in the span of about a minute and a half. So the Rangers are up 3-1. 5:36, Cassian takes a slashing penalty, and on that power play, Zibanejad would score a power play goal. It was redirected in by his skate. So it was a pass into the slot, and he just kind of turned his skate so it would bounce right in. Not a distinct kicking motion, so the goal stood. And the Rangers are up 4-1 against the Oilers in the span of about 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 4 seconds. The Rangers score 3 goals to go up 4-1. And it's at this point where I was like, yeah, it's a bloodbath, but not the bloodbath I thought it was going to be. And that obviously wouldn't last if you look at the score. You can't play timidly with a lead against the Edmonton Oilers, because they are going to throw everything they have at you. And if you slip up, they will score, clearly. 8:04, Draisaitl took an interference penalty, and it's at that point where I think if the Rangers can score again on that power play, they have a pretty good shot of winning this game. You would think if you're up 3 goals against a team, you have a pretty good shot of winning the game. But against a team like the Oilers, that is not a very comfortable lead. 3 goals is not a very comfortable lead. You need at least 4 if you're going to start to feel comfortable. So I'm thinking, during this Draisaitl penalty, if they can score again and have a 4-goal second period, I can relax a little bit. Because at this point, I was happy, but I wasn't relaxed. I was just waiting. There was 2 shorthanded chances for Edmonton on that power play. It was really sloppy. I don't know what happened in the minutes between Zibanejad's power play goal and this power play, but it was just super sloppy. And that was the beginning of the end for the Rangers. That penalty kill gave Edmonton life. And the Rangers stopped handling the puck well. Their passes weren't as good. Edmonton, to their credit, was getting into the passing lanes, and they were doing takeaways and stripping the puck. But Rangers just not moving the puck as well. They lost a little bit of confidence, and they just weren't playing offensively. They were playing shy, and just their mentality was, I don't want to give up the puck, so I'm not going to try and make any plays. They were playing way too safe, and you can't do that. 12:53, Strome took a hooking penalty. Edmonton is the best power play in the league, so you really don't want to take penalties against them. And they have a power play goal in each of their first now 10 games. Edmonton has scored a power play goal in every single one of their games this season. Because at 15:41, Puljujarvi would score a power play goal. There was a confusion between some Rangers players on the ice. There was a long pass, and he just slapped it right into the net. It was a nice goal. So Edmonton makes it 4-2 towards the end of that second period. Scary last 5 minutes, because now Edmonton is they're in charge of this game. They're in charge, and there's no debate about it. The ice was very tilted. controlled play the entire rest of the period. I'm thinking to myself, just get to intermission 4-2. If you can get to intermission 4-2, you can regroup, you can come back out in the third and just play defensive and win 4-2, maybe 4-3. Did that happen? No. But the Rangers outshot Edmonton 11-9 in that second period, which was nice. Third period, 19 seconds in, Kreider almost scores. And then at 24 seconds, Zibanejad takes a tripping penalty. Not the way you want to start the third period against the Edmonton Oilers. Rooney had a shorthanded shot towards the beginning of that penalty kill, but at 1 minute, Barrie would score a power play goal, putting Edmonton to 3 goals. Rangers still up 4-3, but I think we all knew that wasn't going to last. The Rangers are just playing scared. Sloppy passes, very little forecheck. Edmonton is still controlling the game from their momentum that they carried in from the second period. And then at 3:35, Puljujarvi would score his second goal of the game, tying the game for Edmonton 4-4. So in the span of 3.5 minutes, Edmonton ties it. The Rangers take a 2-goal lead into the third period, and they lose it again. This is the second time this year we've seen that happen. Rangers take a 2-goal lead into the third period and drop it. The fourth line was caught out against the first line, and as soon as I saw that, I'm thinking something bad's going to happen. It was a failed clear, and Georgiev can't handle rebounds, so of course Edmonton gets extra chances off their shots. 5 minutes in, Edmonton almost scores again. They're just controlling the play all period. But then at 7:18, Zibanejad would score a goal, putting the Rangers up 5-4. He just streaking in. He ripped it. It was very similar to the Kreider goal from earlier. Georgiev had a good save on a wraparound. Hunt hits a post. I like Hunt. I think he's doing really good work for this team, and he's showing why he deserves to stay. I'm just waiting for him to score a little bit more. I would like to see his offense finally kind of break through and see him have a really good couple of games. A 1.5-minute shift from the Rangers. They can't clear the puck. And then at 17:01, McDavid scores a goal of the year candidate goal. It was very good. I didn't like the goal because he scored it against the Rangers, but to his credit, it was really good. He had the puck, he brought it off sides, and he almost brought it back in, but he was smart enough to wait for his teammates to come back. But that means he has no support coming into the offensive zone, but he doesn't need it. There were 4 Rangers players in his immediate vicinity, and he just dekes through all of them. He completely undresses Patrick Nemeth, and then he completely undresses Georgiev. Even he knew. He was very excited about that goal. So Edmonton ties it 5-5 with about 3 minutes left in the game. And I'm thinking, just get to OT. Just get to overtime. You're not winning this game. You're not. 3 minutes left and Edmonton has all of the momentum. You are not winning this game. Just get to overtime, get a point, and go to Calgary and forget about it. I was not waiting for the Rangers to rally and win this game. I knew they weren't. Even when we get to overtime, I'm thinking, just, you got a point. Be happy with that because that's as good as it's going to get tonight. And of course, 3 minutes, 27 seconds into overtime, Draisaitl would score the game-winning goal. Edmonton wins 6-5 in overtime. So Rangers move to 6-2-3, which again, not an awful record. It might get worse before it gets better, but we'll see the ebbs and flows that this team gives us over the next couple games. Shots 25-39 in favor of Edmonton. Face-off 41.5%. Power play went 1 for 2. Hits 21-27 in favor of Edmonton, and blocks 23-12 in favor of the Rangers. The trivia question of the evening: which Rangers duo combined for the most points in a season? I didn't know. But apparently, it was Rattel and Hadfield in the 1971-1972 season. Rattel had 109 points and Hadfield had 106 for a total of 215 points combined in one season. You scored a lot more goals back then. But Rangers are back in action tonight in Calgary. We'll see if they can avenge themselves from the previous shellacking. that Calgary gave them earlier in the season. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next rundown.